Live. Hello, brothers and sisters. I decided to go live today, and if you're watching this, I have a feeling you might have done the jump in the timeline of 5D. So here we are at the end of November, and we seems to be the light workers, star seeds. I like to call my tribe, peace tribe, warriors of the rainbow. We're jumping back and forth. So I've been meditating and sending out so much love. And I invite you with myself to take a nice deep breath and a big sigh just to drop into this moment. So I just want to tell you a little story first before I get into the abundance. I've been calling myself a grandmother with grit. And that is what's been happening since Wednesday, when I made a video with my phone. Okay, so I need 1,000 subscribers before I can go live on my phone. So it has been timing out since Wednesday. It's Sunday now. So what are the words that the AI are not liking? And I am reading a beautiful new idea, thought process from Judge Anna Von Reitz. And she wrote this the beginning of November. So yes, what are the words that are keeping this from being blocked? Now I upgraded my Wi-Fi, so I have faster speed. That didn't work. And I would overnight try and upload. It just kept timing out. My guides just, pardon me, my guides are like, just go live and do this. Okay, so I'm going to show you who Anna is, because I have been reading about her for many, many years. With the new currencies coming out, the revaluing new currencies, and Nasara, Jasara, these are words you've probably been hearing lately. I've been hearing them since 2013. So yeah, definitely been holding space for this new 5D reality. Okay, so I'm just going to take my little camera here and see if we can do this. And if you're watching, say hello, say hello. Okay, so this is Anna here. I hope you can see it okay. This is on the New Earth Project, Natural Law and Universal Remedy, back in August. I have a very slow computer. It's so old. See, I don't even have a camera in it. I have to use this exported camera. Okay, so what's going on here? So let me get rid of that. Maybe I'll just have to, okay. Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020, Abundance by Judge Anna Von Reitz. She writes, "This is one of the most important articles I've ever written. So please take time to read and take it in. We have lived our lives under an invisible scourge. It's called the Doctrine of Scarcity. There are those of us, including myself, who feel that less is more. We find it easier to live a life less encumbered by possessions, and if left to ourselves, naturally adopt a spare and orderly lifestyle focused on those things we actually need and those relatively few things that truly matter. It's just better that way, simpler, less stressful, less cluttered, less wasteful. more enjoyable, more time to enjoy what actually matters. The doctrine of scarcity is not anything akin to that joyous, voluntary, clean living acceptance of a simplified lifestyle, focused on actual needs and true sentiments. The doctrine of scarcity is a selfish, mean-spirited, and coercive organizational policy that was adopted by the Roma Curia at the same time as modern consumerism was being jammed down our throats. The doctrine of scarcity demands the purposeful creation of scarcity to be used as a tool to drive people from pillar to post, a means to force people to comply with whatever demands are made of them simply to have enough food, water, heat, and other necessary basics that are needed to be comfortable and healthy. And also, at the same time, make it appear that money is so very important and so very, very valuable. These two things, coercive control of people who are artificially impoverished and promoting the idea that money is necessary and supremely valuable, serves to benefit those who make money out of thin air or little blobs of metal or pieces of paper. Push of consumerism is the right hand of the doctrine of scarcity's left hand shove, and we get stuck in the middle. At the same time that commodity production and supply of everything from dollars to donuts is being suppressed under the doctrine of scarcity, we are assaulted 24/7 with propaganda telling us how much we really need that Big Mac, the latest computer gadget, the 8,000 square foot home, and the new car, plus the vacation motorhome. These two things, consumerism versus doctrine of scarcity, juxtaposed against each other, have resulted in constant pressure and stress being applied to us, creating a form of psychic war. And it's all completely and deliberately manufactured to benefit our tormentors. On one hand, no effort has been spared to convince us that we need a new Lexus every year and are somehow unworthy of care and notice if we can't afford that or don't want that. On the other hand, we are browbeaten and told how deep in debt we supposedly are, and given all sorts of bogus reasons for why we must trade our labor and time on earth for almost nothing, and have a large portion of what we do receive taken back as taxes and fees. And the truth is that we don't need, and probably, if truth be told, don't really want a new car. And furthermore, we aren't in debt to anyone except maybe our own ancestors, and of course, to our Creator. Once you start sorting through all the tripe you've been fed all your lives, it becomes apparent that there is an organized effort to delude you about the importance of money, about the scarcity of commodities, and even about your own needs and desires. I woke up one day in 1972, noticed I had 6 pairs of shoes, and at most needed 2 pairs of shoes, plus a pair of winter boots. Starting from that basic observation, I noticed that I had a lot of junk I didn't like, didn't need, and wasn't using, while other people around the world were starving and really did need a pair of shoes. I noticed that I and my parents were on a sort of hamster wheel, being fed money in exactly the same way a hamster might receive a sunflower seed, which led me to ruminate about the nature of money. Once I sat down and thought about the entire concept of money, I laughed out loud because it's such a preposterous and obvious fraud scheme. Money is a manufactured commodity, a widget, a very simple widget too. So how could billions of people be enslaved to a widget? Two conditions are required. One, people must be convinced that the widget has value. And two, the widgets are kept in short supply so as to promote the illusion of value. So we are enslaved by our own belief in an obvious lie, and scarcity of the widget promotes that belief. Simple enough. And she's telling her age here because I don't quite know what she means. And then the next step is to look at who benefits. As Gomer Pyle said, go-y, Bono. Well, obviously, the illusionists are who are in the back room producing and controlling the supply of widgets benefit tremendously from this magical transformation of fact to fiction, bread to symbol of bread. And just as obviously, there are two kinds of people in this world, those who are sucked in and believing this crapola, and those who see it for what it is. In other words, the rest of us versus the Illuminati. So long as they keep the rest of us from looking behind the curtain, they are in control of the entire world, and we are on hamster wheels working for them. But wait a minute. God created all the natural resources in the world and gave them to us all as a gift. And we, by our work, both physical and mental, create all the products and value-added commodities. We even print and stamp and produce all the money. So the truth is that as inheritors of the wealth of this planet in all its myriad forms, we are all richer than Midas. And as sentient beings, imbued with the Creator's own power to create whatever we wish, we are unimaginably powerful too. We are kept in chains from birth to death by lies and illusions and mistaken beliefs that keep us on a hamster wheel, begging for our next tiny piece of cheese dropped from a miserly, unseen hand. What a bunch of bunk. Now that we're in the cusp of an entirely new and revelatory realization that the entire monetary system, as it has hitherto existed, is bunk, we are left with the creative opportunity to transform what was a tool of oppression into a simple tool at the service of everyone, including and most especially those in need. That is what I and my friends have proposed to do, much to the chagrin and outrage of those who have benefited themselves so grossly and so inflated their egos as to imagine that they would never be found out and held accountable for the evils they have perpetuated on their fellow man in the name of a false god. I've never heard that before. Mammon. Now, then, all those who have been clamoring like hungry puppies, please calm down. And likewise, all those so indoctrinated into the big lie that they imagine that their piece of the pie will be smaller if they let other people come to the table. The wealth of this earth and of our creative gift is so completely, mind-blowingly unimaginable that there is no reason for anyone to go without anything they need ever again. We are set free to create and enjoy true abundance the moment we shed ourselves of false beliefs. All of us, together, brothers and sisters of one divine Father and Mother. And as a flat-footed, long-in-the-tooth old woman from Wisconsin, I do know how la-la land that little announcement sounds to some of you, but it's also the truth. It's time to click your ruby slippers, Dorothy. Don't take any wooden nickels or believe in any false beliefs. Join together and refuse to be deceived any longer. Just as I've called you to remember who you are as Americans, I have called you to remember who you are as men and women, each one with the spark of divinity within you, each one an inheritor of all that is. And I had wrote, let's have a discussion, because I had sent this to my group as an email. So I hope you saw that. Yeah, I'd love to have a discussion down below. And that, I'll love you and leave you, and say, if I can get back to my channel here, say a big love to you, and I look forward to hearing what part spoke to you. Okay, bye now. Oh, maybe bye. I'm not very good with this. Okay, bye. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please share and subscribe. Thank you so much.